Good morning. Good morning. Well, we did what we planned to do this morning, and that's wake up at around 7:30, put on a trade, executed the trade, and honestly, I just went right back to sleep because this is my trading life now. I get to be a lot more casual. Look at our performance for the week. We're at 2 grand now on this. We're about 3 weeks into our prop firm. 50% win ratio, which it's really probably closer to 70, 75%. Little tiny mistakes, though, will add up for these little tiny losses. Average win to loss is about 2 to 1. Profit factor is 2.4, which has gone up since the last video I made. And yeah, we're looking pretty good. So across the board, we have a lot of green days. We have 2 red days, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Wait. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 winning days. This is a scratch, 2 losing days, and 2 break-even days where I shouldn't have put any trades on. So here we are. So today we've had 513, huge profit today. This is a very clean day, and I'm just going to break it down very quickly how I did this. So in general, as you guys, if you guys have seen my last videos, you know that I take the pre-market high, pre-market low. So we're going to find that again. We're going to go to 2100 on the time right here, and we're just going to find the low. We're going to find the high, and let's see here. This is actually high right here, and here it is. So if we get above this range, we kind of just want to stay long, be interested long. So let's zoom into our 30-second chart now. This is the 5-minute. This is the 30-second. So if we look at the 30-second chart, put a fixed volume profile range at 6:30 to roughly 8 o'clock. We need a little farther here. Here we are. This is what I woke up on the market, and sorry, not woke up, opened my laptop. I keep saying woke up. And I just had a little look at it. So currently, when I see, all I'm seeing is this. That's all I was seeing at 8. And I'm looking at my volume profile, and I'm looking at the price action. And for as far as price action goes, all I could see is this. Pretty much all I could see. And this candle was starting to develop as I woke up. Whatever, got on. I'll just say I woke up, whatever. So in general, though, I know a couple other things that can help support where I take my profit at. And one of those things is these 2 bars right here. These 2 green bars. So to me, we broke a trend, uptrend, with increased volume. This to me signifies that we can at least get a measured move 1-to-1 from this. So 25, 829.50. That's where our take profit is, 29.50. So what I did is I zoomed into our 30-second over here, and I like hard shoulders. Remember, we talked about shoulder to point of control. If you don't know that, point of control is down here, though. So what do? Well, we're just going to play the shoulder to where our supposed take profit is. So I put my entry in right here, right off this little ledge here. I put in my entry, and then my take profit I put up to 29.50. So not only did I put one contract here, I also put another contract in closer to this ledge down here. I forget where I put my stop this morning, but I think my stop was right up this shoulder a little bit. Put my stop right as we start to get up to that shoulder. So I literally closed my laptop immediately because I just put in the order. I don't want to spend any more time there than I have to, and that's all I want to do. But look at this. We hit a perfect entry here. Wicked out on that entry. This is exactly where the buyers are sitting. And we immediately got that rebound. Played up to the top end of where this 1-to-1 is on this right here. That's our day. We could have continued to play. I mean, this is looking so prime. We got another little 2-bar trend break. Here, 1, 2. Actually, this doesn't look that we had a little more. in general. These 2 bars look great. Actually, these 3 bars here. So 1-to-1ing off these 3 bars puts us roughly there for the take profit. We could have continued to play this. But in general, to be honest with you, that's cool. So now we're at 10 o'clock right now. So now this is where I would look for my second setup. So you guys are gonna look at my second setup with me right now. It's looking like we're just gonna continue to rip all day long. So I'm gonna take off some of this stuff. We're gonna look at it like how we would normally look at it. And we're just gonna stretch out this volume profile all the way to the current day. So a couple things to note over here. These choppy areas, I don't really like. With these choppy areas, these nodes can be really messy. The market could just plow right through them very quickly. It's not showing like a big support, but I still love this area right here. Love it. Where we took our first one, I'd love to take another one there. Second area I love is this one right here. This is another good area that I'm liking for potential buys. So if we get down into these areas, I would like to play these areas back into point of control at least. I don't think we'll get there today. This is just looking like a very strong bullish day. But here's another little area right here. This is a nice little area, as you can show. We had a couple little shoulders back up to point of control. So we possibly could play a nice little shoulder here, maybe back up to the top end of this. And this is just 15 points. The only problem is when we look at our stop, barely getting like 1-to-1. I don't really see this as buyers coming to step in too heavy. So, yeah, I don't actually mind it. So if we look at this entry, we probably put a limit buy here. We might, I don't know if we want full 5 here, but I think we'll have to go 5 because it's small. And then if we get down to this area, I want 3. Actually, we could do 4 here. What we did last time, 4 was really nice. 4 here. And then here we could do. So the idea is that for this one up here, I would just play it to the top end of where it starts to stop shouldering off a little bit. For these areas down here, I like bringing them back up to point of control. So put a little stop, probably the stop right as the shoulder's starting to get more aggressive. And then we're going to play back up to point of control here. So let's see, 25 points, $50. I only need 4 contracts. That's perfect. And then this one down here, same thing, similar price action. I'll just play it all the way back up to point of control. Whole thing. I'll just run the whole thing. And then we'll probably give it a 25-point stop. It's a little looser. 25 on 3 contracts is 150. That's exactly where our stop is anyway. So now my brackets are done with price. So it's just I'm risking 150 to break 200. But on this one, I extended it out to well, why we hit 500 on this one is because when we got the entry, because I saw the entry actually trigger, when it was 8, yeah, because this happened a few minutes. When I saw it trigger, I extended I heard it trigger. I extended my take profit up, and it actually bought me for 5, I think. Let's see, did it buy me for 5? I didn't even check if it bought me for 5. Ooh, get these executions. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, so yeah, it did buy me for 5. So I got in for 3 at, see, 27.85.75. So 785.75. I got in up here. Oh yeah, that's right. I played off this high shoulder here, and then I bought 2 more at 6.7, kind of an average down, right off this shoulder, which would bring our average roughly to like right here. And then I played the 2-to-1 on. So that was how that happened. Worked out fantastic. And yeah, we're just going to continue to chip away at this account, try and get more plays in. This is looking pretty sweet, by the way. So yeah, that was your 2 right here. 1, 2. So volume was very nice. Almost got as high. You would probably want that to still get a little higher. I don't know if I would take this one, but you could expect it to get up to 87 up here. That would be your potential take profit. I've traded a bunch of different strategies. So this is still a fantastic strategy, the one that I had, especially playing with trends. So this would be one where we just take a 1-to-1 up here. But this one, you risk a lot. You have to take bigger drawdowns. I'm not a fan of taking as big of drawdowns anymore. I'm trying to be very specific in my selection. But as you can see, we're only buying. We're not shorting at all. But this all looks very clean. I'm going to be honest with you. The price action, at least, if we were to look at just the supply and demand, and how we look at this, just pure price action and volume. But if we were looking at where we think buyers could possibly step in, these are great areas where we think buyers could step in. All of this. All of this. The market could react to any of these supply pulls here. Let's see if there's any more. This is a little supply pull up here. Would not say he's too strong, but as you can see, he reinforced his position here. And yeah, it just continues to go up. Another one right here. So these are all areas where if you were looking at, if you are familiar with a footprint, and the footprint is just seeing the market orders, the aggressive buy and sell orders actually entering the market, you would see an imbalance of really aggressive buyers to really aggressive sellers. And it sounds pretty simple because it is, right? More buyers than sellers typically means we're going to go higher. It's not all the time, but in its simplest form, yes. The only time it wouldn't work is if there was a passive seller that aggressive buyer was buying a ton of, and they were getting just chewed up, right? But then we can get into delta and all that other stuff, but we don't really need it. This strategy is why I like this strategy. Is it's simple, it's quick and easy, and you just put in an order and you walk away. So right now, even though I'm live streaming right now, I would already close my computer. I'm done. I wouldn't even look at the charts anymore. And I'm doing a way more than I normally would in terms of how I'm looking at the markets. I would pick this. I already had, you didn't see, but off stream, I already had this order up. This order I was looking at, but didn't really matter. And then I'm looking at how the context of this long is. And I don't mind it at all. Ah, man. A little tricky, though. I don't know if I would actually. I want to just play 72. Where's the 72 at? Yeah, it's a little tricky. I'd be playing a quick pop. Like, we'd be playing a quick down, pop up, be done. 25 points. I'll be right back. But yeah, here we are. All right, we're back. So that's pretty much it. That's a wrap for this current strategy. Um, yeah, yeah, I think that's pretty solid. So what I think would happen now from here is eventually, if we were to look a little bit bigger picture, we could look and see where was liquidity before. We can go up to a daily. I want to see the daily. So we see they were getting into the top end of this liquidity, and these were all real sellers, and now they're starting to actually get chewed through. So we could really see it start to come back. But I think this area up here, this area right here specifically, I think this area is going to be where the market's going to see some selling up to the 2600. So 26, 126 is going to be the beginning of where there's going to be passive sellers, and these passive sellers are going to do a lot of absorption. This is looking mighty strong, by the way. My goodness, that was a bounce. Ooh, excuse me. Sneeze again. Yeah, this is looking mighty strong. Really, really incredible this movement. Um, so obvious big buyers here, huge, huge buyers here. But then from here we have a reinforced buyer. So just keep note of this too, because this is a big. Actually, if this is all overlapping, this could actually all get ran through eventually. Very interesting. Okay, this is a daily chart, by the way. On the daily a little bit more. Yeah, this is very interesting. This structure, typically when you have multiple runs like this, multiple kind of overlapped strong areas, they tend to get, if we enter back into the zone, they tend to get tested almost all the way. Very, very interesting how the structure is for these days right now. But have another look here. I don't know what's going to happen, but I do know that there's some supply up here at the 160. So let's see a little bit shorter of a time frame. Yeah, I think this is going to be your supply. So watch out for that. We're having the massive run. If you wanted to hedge anywhere, I'd be looking at the 160s to 6200s. So that's going to be the area that I would like to hedge. This is looking really strong. Let's see the volume kind of starting to taper off a little bit. I know with politics, the Strait of Hormuz and all of the other things involved, it's really volatile because if there's not an agreement, we haven't even really felt the effects of oil yet. There's all kinds of things that could put pressure on the market. So, and honestly, I'm pretty amazed that we're ripping like how we already are ripping in general. So there we go. Yeah, that's it, man. So hope you guys enjoyed watching, and stay tuned. We're gonna try and stream every day for at least 30 minutes. I don't know how long this stream's been going for right now. Let's see here. Can't even tell. Yeah, we're about 18 minutes in. That's not too bad, actually. So maybe we'll do 30. I don't know. Even 15 minutes is fine because there's not much more to expound on unless we were teaching about the markets. But I think overall, this is really solid. So I'm going to continue to move this volume profile up here, starting to see some of this shape take place a little bit. I still like this little corner here. I could even play it a little bit more conservatively. Wouldn't be a bad idea, honestly. I just don't like that area. This is what happens when you start picking at it too much, right? I don't look at the markets as much anymore, but you start to become overly critical, over analytical, and it's like that's what starts to mess with your psychology. So you kind of just have to stick to your initial plan. It's like kind of test taking, right? They say your first choice was the best choice typically. Yeah, you got to just let it be. So here, get out there. Yeah. So in general, these are just things to keep in mind. But we'll see what happens. I'm gonna close this down, and we're off to the next day. We'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.